You're now listening to Sound Talent Media. Check out more shows at soundtalentmedia.com.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Matt McGackie, the vocalist of Cryptopsy and the host of the Vox and Hops Metal Podcast, where I sit down with fellow metal musicians. We talk all about their lives and music while sharing killer craft beers. If you've ever wanted to sneak backstage and share a beer with one of your favorite musicians, well, Vox and Hops is the podcast for you. This week on the podcast, I dropped a killer episode with Kelly Schaefer of Atheist. There is this episode and over 440 other ones to help you enjoy life, metal, and craft beer. So what are you waiting for? It's time to become a Vox and Hops head. Cheers!
Hello there, and welcome to this shiny, bright, new edition of the podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. I've got a couple things I need to rap with you about before we get started. This house is really dirty, so I got a lot of house cleaning to do. This intro is going to be a little bit longer than normal, but make sure you still listen through because parts of it involve you getting potentially free gear and swag and stuff. So you want to listen to the whole thing and make sure you don't miss any of those opportunities. And I'll be as fast as I can, I promise. Okay. A few episodes ago, you guys might remember I did a sort of a contest. I needed some new iTunes reviews. I mean, I always need new iTunes reviews. So if you're enjoying the program, if you could slide over there and drop us a review, that would be amazing. Helps people find the show, helps people know what they're getting into, all that sorts of stuff. And so during that time period, I don't know if you remember, but I was saying my favorite review was going to get some swag or some prizes. So I did pick that review. I sent it out in a email here last week, but I did not get a response. So I want to give a shout out to whoever Svectacular is. Svectacular. Left a review on May 18th, and it was a very, very nice review. In fact, they were all very nice reviews. There was like 22 of them or 25 of them or something that came in, and they were all really nice. I was expecting some of you people to roast me a little bit, but everyone was exceedingly kind. So thank you very much for all those, and if you feel like dropping a review, that would be great. It's always helpful. So thank you very much for that. And yeah, Svectacular, go ahead and shoot me an email, info@tonemob.com. Got to get some swag your way, or message me, or whatever. Get a hold of me somehow. You know how to get a hold of me. Okay. I haven't talked about the Patreon episodes in this portion of the podcast very much lately, so I thought I would plug that again. You go to go to patreon.com/tonemob. You can see several different options there. You know, at $5 a month, you start getting extra episodes. So if this is a thing you enjoy, this is something that brightens your week up, you can get a double dose right to your preferred podcast player even. So it's pretty cool, and it's what do they say? What's the classic thing? It's less than a fancy coffee every month, and you'll get lots and lots of extra hours of entertainment. In fact, you'll get access to all of the back episodes, of which there is over a regular works week. I'm done. I shouldn't do tongue twisters like that. Work weeks worth of listening. Work weeks worth. That was rough. Rough for me. Yeah, so there's over 40 episodes over there. You can eat your heart out. And yeah, thank you very much for all of those that are supporting via Patreon. That's great. And there'll be a fresh one in there for you this evening, if you're listening to this right now. Anyway, we sent out a bunch of hats and some custom Copper Sound flashlights and a bunch of other things for some of the upper tier members over there. And yeah, we're trying to do as much as we can for the Patreon folks. They really help out a lot with their donations. So thank you to all of you folks, and if any of you are interested, that is the place to go. You like pedals, right? That's a thing that you're into? You like guitar effects? You like guitar gear and things like that? Of course you do. Why wouldn't you? Well, did you know that you can win stuff just by listening to this podcast? Some of you do. A lot of you do, in fact. You just got to listen to the podcast and answer a little trivia every month. Once a month, I'm giving away guitar stuff to those that are subscribed to the Tone Mob newsletter. So all you have to do is listen to the podcast. Let's make sure you catch all the episodes because you never know where I'm going to pull the trivia question from. And then once a month, either at the very end of the month or the very beginning of the next month, I send out an email with a trivia question about something that was covered in the podcast that month. And the first person to reply with the correct answer wins whatever that month's prize is. The last one I gave out was a Love Pedal HSR3. So it's multi-mode reverb pedal, which is really, really, really cool. And yeah, we gave it away to who won? Mr. Douglas Lawson won with the correct answer. I asked something about the Mike Mitchell episode from last month, and he was the first person to respond with the correct answer, so he gets a pedal. Who knows what it's going to be this month, so make sure you go to tonemob.com, hit the tab that says Join the Mob. That's where you can join the newsletter and make sure you get in on that. All I'm going to send you is a weekly newsletter covering the new episode that came out and any little updates that I don't get to in these. I don't like to do these very often because they're long and nobody's here for that. They're here for interviews. So I'm trying to minimize this. But you'll get a weekly email from me regarding the goings-on in Tone Mob Land and the new episode and any other pertinent information. I'm not selling these addresses. I'm not giving them to anybody. These are all just so you can hear from me about things that you care about. So you just hit the Join the Mob tab and you just put in your information and it's real easy. So we're doing that once a month. We're going to do that. It's been awesome. It's been really a lot of fun. People have been digging it. And we're just going to keep on keeping on because people seem to enjoy it. So yeah, that's enough on that subject. Now, I have to tell you about Gun Street Wiring Shop. Gun Street Wiring Shop out of Bend, Oregon. Oh man, Sean and the crew down there making the finest wiring harnesses in the game. And if you haven't noticed, they can do weird stuff too. Yeah, they do the 50s wiring. They got the 60s. They got the treble bleed circuits. They got all that stuff. They got your three-way telly things. They got all kinds of stuff. They can do that. But you know what else they do? Whatever you need. So if you have a crazy idea or you got a crazy guitar that needs the wiring upgraded in it, email Sean and he will get you sorted. Trust me, I've seen it too many times at this point. The man knows what he's doing and they make great harnesses and the customer service is absolutely top-notch over there. So go to gunstreetwiringshop.com. Tell him I sent you. Also, Sinusoid. Sinusoid.com. Sinusoid Pro Audio Couture. The ones with the 100-year warranty. Yeah, oh yeah. The ones that make you smile. You know who they are. Sinusoid.com for all of your instrument cable needs. Whether it's a patch cable, instrument cable, speaker cable, they have you covered. Even better, you can do it all in their custom cable builder. You can select the color of TechFlex you want. You can select the brand of cable. You can select what ends you want. Straight, right angle, like anything. The custom cable builder is where it's at, and it's all at sinusoid.com. That's where you go when you know. And they've been supporting this podcast for years. So if you're supporting the Soid, you're supporting I'm leaving that in. You're supporting the show. And obviously, we need to keep the lights on around here. So go to sinusoid.com, check them out. They've got a 100-year warranty. Did I mention that already? 100-year warranty. Best in the business. Go to sinusoid.com. Okay, I'm going to stop. This monologuing is really hard. I don't know how other podcasters do it. This is difficult for me. I gotta have somebody else to go off of, anyway. All right, I got some other people to go off of here. I got Clint and Taylor from Deep Space Devices. This one gets way off into the weeds. It goes all over the place. It's awesome. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. So without further ado, on with the show. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the ToneMob.com podcast, the show about guitar tone and the people behind it. I'm your host, Blake Weiland, and with me today, I have Clint McDuffie and Taylor Adams from Deep Space Devices.
Hello.
What's going on, fellas?
Hey, what's going on?
Doing good.
Yeah. Oh, you guys just switched gears all of a sudden. They were so animated off the air, and then we clicked record, and they're like, "Hey, Blake, how's it going?" Like it's NPR or something.
We got multiple personalities. Oh,
come on, man. You got to be more animated.
Squirting water on this.
Okay, we got to find somewhere in between.
Okay, all right.
In between spraying water and NPR.
All right, that's too much. All right, I'll dial it back.
Oh, man, that's great. This is going to be great. I can tell. So you guys run Deep Space Devices, which is something I've been, has been on my radar for a little bit. And I don't know why you haven't come on the show before now, but finally was like, Clint, we got to make this happen. And so we've made it happen. And here we are. And I'm really excited to talk to you guys. So how's it going over there?
We're excited too. We're just, I guess you can say we're still kind of waking up, or I think Taylor is, but
I'm good, dude.
You're good.
I'm wide awake. I get up at 5:30 every morning. I have some coffee. I make some tea.
You are a liar.
No, it's true.
Why are you getting up at 5:30 every morning?
Dude, because I don't actually. I wake up at like 2.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's a bad sleep schedule.
I mean, it's a pretty good one.
Why are you getting up at 2? What time are you going to bed?
So, I go to bed at like 5 a.m. and then wake up at 2.
Oh, well, that works.
Are you working like third shift?
No, I'll just be playing like,
Overwatch.
Video games at night.
Just sitting there getting sucked into the, I don't even know. I'm so out of games. I don't even know. Like, what are you playing, Mario Kart or something? I'm not even sure.
I play Mario Dash on my phone.
Dude, I have to tell my wife to not get any games or get anything from me because it'll distract me.
Chill out.
And then she got a Nintendo Switch, and now I'm hooked.
This is a guitar podcast.
Okay,
yeah. Stop talking about video games, Clint.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't know where to begin. The newest system I have is a Nintendo 64, so I'm way out of the gaming.
That's the best one, man. That's the golden age of gaming.
It takes me back to the days, for sure.
Yeah. Pokemon Stadium. Oh, man.
All right. Chill out, nerd.
Okay. I'll stop.
Chill out, nerd. Put that on a t-shirt. That's great.
Yeah, we don't have a slogan. Everyone else has a slogan. What's the Metaverse has
oh, man.
Make noise, not war.
Yeah, I got a backpack right here.
That's a great slogan. And then
it's not the best. You can't top it.
No, I can top it.
What?
Chris from Dusky. God, what is it? Hang on.
Let's move on.
No. Breadboarding is not a crime.
Oh, I like that. That's wonderful.
Is it like
breadboarding is not a crime?
Fuzz or us actually sent us some stickers of that, which is really, really cool.
Wait, is that his slogan or is that?
That's his slogan.
Okay, dude. I was like, he had some stickers at his booth, and I was just like, hey, give me one. That's hilarious.
I think that's what it was called, but yeah.
I like the Adventure Audio one. Was feedback is an art, dude.
Dude, I had that in the back of my car, and
that's awesome.
I loved it. I was wanting to add a pedal to my order too, and I was like, I need to save, so I ordered 4 or 5 stickers instead. I squirt water again in my eyes. Okay, sorry.
I gotta say, this is a podcast first. I feel like he's squirting you like you would a dog that's misbehaving. He's like, no, bad. Squirt.
Whenever he rambles, I just have to lightly mist him.
Oh man, yeah. So my story's going me going to the store. That story will be about an hour. I just can't help it. And I admit it. I just can't.
You like to fill in the background details that you don't really need to fill in sometimes.
I'd be good at writing a good book, but it just I barely read.
Yeah, but it'd be more like a Tolkien book. Like you'd have your own language that you invented.
It worked out pretty good for him.
Yeah, that's true. Never mind.
It really did. They actually released a trailer recently of a Tolkien biography, about Tolkien.
How do we get off that?
Really?
Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to that.
I want to see that. I'm all about that.
Yeah, for real. I'm really excited about that. But yeah, I'm so sorry. We're so off track.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell that's just going to be how this episode is. So, if people are not liking the off track, they should probably just wait till the next week or something.
Yeah, just skip out on this podcast. I'm sorry, everyone.
It's gonna be one of those. I love these kind. They're my favorite. So let's get right into it, though. And I don't know which one of you wants to take this question first. I know this is gonna be a lengthy one because that's how this question goes. But so you both have some sort of musical backstory and a way that has led you guys to what you're doing today. And I want to know what that story is.
Hold up. Do we get to discuss math rock? Because
We can
this
talk
will
math rock.
be a double length podcast. I'll make this go on for 2 hours.
You can educate me on the maths and the rock.
Okay. All right.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go
Mine
first.
too.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess to elaborate more on that question, do you want it to be more like what brought it to kind of how Deep Space came about?
Well, I feel like, at some point in your childhood, you were like, guitars and stuff are pretty cool. And
Yeah.
I want to start there.
Weren't you a Kiss fan? Didn't you really
No.
like Kiss?
No.
And you were like,
No.
I love the way that they can mold pop conventions into rock and roll.
All night.
So
And
seamless.
partying every day.
Yeah. Because I remember you talking about it, and you had the DVD live set. Remember?
I don't remember any of this. I just remember watching anime and trying playing the theme songs when I was 13.
What? Are you serious?
No, I'm not being serious. But no, I guess
Dude, tell them about your favorite anime.
stop.
Please. You
This
have
isn't the Tone Jerks podcast. Come on.
Yeah. This is the Tone Church. He knows about it.
He knows. Oh God.
Okay. So I'll tell my story, then go with yours. So
Okay.
mine probably isn't as lengthy. Sailor's is it's actually pretty incredible, to be honest. But of course, just starting young, around 12 or 13, somewhere around there. I guess it would be 12 years of just playing. But I started out as a bass. At heart, I'm a bass player. And of course, along the way, you're going to be picking up a guitar. But in the South, like in Alabama, there's always where we're from in like Gadsden, in the Gadsden area, there's always a hardcore scene. So there was, all these hardcore bands, and every now and then you'll see some experimental bands.
I don't mean to interrupt. There's also Yellow Wolf.
Oh yeah, we have Yellow Wolf in Gadsden.
Yes. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Anyways, but with the hardcore bands, it was weird because I used to play in a little indie band. I guess just being different back then, and I never was too much into pedals or anything. This is always bass playing, just moving forward with, just bettering myself as a bass player. Being playing the indie stuff, more math rock kind of stuff, but not as extensive what Taylor's story is. But
You're trying to relate to me.
Okay,
I'm just kidding.
and of course, I'm not saying it all comes to an end like the bands and stuff like that, but getting college going and stuff, just really taking up my time and stuff. But, getting through college, halfway through college, I was went to UAB, University of Alabama at Birmingham, and I started working at North Face. And from there, I got my business degree at UAB and went full time and traveled with North Face. I know that's so random, the outdoor I was kind of in the outdoor industry, kind of traveling, doing training for some other stores and stuff like that. And I was mainly stationed in Birmingham. But during that, I was, throughout that whole period, that's when the whole pedal game was kind of going on. And of course, every paycheck, like all of us with pedals, getting a new pedal every week and just being, just trading all, you know how the game is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And, but then, I was playing a little, post rock ambient experimental kind of deal called Gallant Horn. And we would, with that, with playing shows, it's there's always, a lot of times you see with post rock bands, always projectors, some visual effects, all that kind of stuff. And we would always do stuff like that. Do little short runs here and there. But then, of course, every show, it was always pedals with band. And if it wasn't pedals, then we weren't hanging. I wasn't a jerk. It was just that was always a big topic kind of thing, which is really cool because in Birmingham, it's about 45 minutes from Gadsden, from where I'm originally from. Birmingham is a pretty multi-genre kind of area. They have a lot of touring bands. I guess you could say was it a Saturn, that the venue in Birmingham?
Yeah, that's the guy from Man or Astro Man. Owns that venue.
Yeah, I think so. But we would play like around there and all that. But then, of course, going down being in the whole pedal venture while working at North Face. Of course, you wanted to know how these things work, and that's when I get fixated on something, it's like I'm not going to be talking to anybody. I want to be learning this, and that's during my travels with North Face. That's when I was just learning as much as I can. And honestly, I wish I started out just not knowing anything and trying to build something on a breadboard and blown it up instead of trying to learn everything and then trying stuff out. Because like being I've always been like a hands-on kind of person, and that just I didn't do that right. But my story isn't that like crazy detailed or like exciting, to be honest, because I mean it was just Taylor's is more the, I guess, in detail, like with bands and stuff like that, but mine's just taught myself like with pedals and everything. And of course, deep down, my dream kind of job kind of deal is to start my own effects pedal company, because I was just, of course, obsessed with it. So that's kind of where, talking with Taylor about creating Deep Space, and then that's where it kind of.
When did you meet Taylor and all that? Like, I feel like that piece of the puzzle is missing from this tale.
I think when I was playing like in this little indie band, Beats Our Property, Taylor came out. One of our bandmates in Beats Our Property, he invited Taylor and some other people to come jam with us, and that's the first time we met, but we really didn't. I'm going to be honest. I mean, I thought you were a little bit much to handle, and I felt anxiety the first time meeting you.
I give that impression to everyone, and I swear to God, it's not intentional.
And then, but then, like, a few months passed, and we would jam here and there. But then, a few years later, over the years, just seeing each other at shows, that's when we kind of got the idea of who we are and everything. It's like the anxiety kind of went away. But then again, Taylor might have like a different picture.
Oh yeah, dude, I got deep rooted grudges against you. I was always like, I hate that guy so much.
Would you like to elaborate?
No, dude. I elaborated pretty well on that. I mean, I hate you, and I'm just kidding.
Okay,
I'm kidding.
You just saw my smile.
I know you were sweating. You're sweating beads over there. I'm just playing. No, yeah. We started the company when he just randomly hit me up for art. He said, "Hey, I'm building a pedal, and I don't know how to draw. Please put something on the top of this."
Well, it was more elaborated than that. I was talking to him like, art is kind of that's something that I'm pretty into. And I know Taylor is very into that, because Taylor does incredible artwork for a lot of different things. He does a lot of designs for bands and a lot in the math rock community, but like show posters and what else would you say?
I'm like the merch guy.
Okay, yeah. Like The World's a Beautiful Place, bands like that, like doing t-shirts designs and stuff like that. And so I thought, like, with his work and everything, we thought, we could really collaborate and make something pretty cool, that kind of give, like, your artwork, like the idea when you look at these pedals, kind of, catches people's eye, of course. But I mean, it's just like when you see this artwork, you kind of get like an idea of what it's going to be like, if that makes sense.
Man, I will say that it's been difficult trying to figure out layouts and stuff, because in the beginning, some of the prints that we sent off, or some of the pedals that we sold, weren't the best graphically, because we couldn't figure out, we didn't measure the knobs with a multimeter, or not a multimeter, calipers, right?
Yeah, caliper.
We didn't measure the knobs, so I would put like a tiny dot down, and then the text would be like too pushed up into the knob.
Gotcha.
So it seems really small, but I feel like it has a huge impact on on the look of the pedal if the layout's just slightly askew. And plus, it really bothers me as like a designer.
Yeah.
So we had to. I've started getting Clint to like measure everything. So now everything is measured, like the diameters of the knobs.
Like the wording and everything. Like I did get you a lot of measurements before, but it was like to the maximum detail now. Like it's, I mean, we don't do our enclosure prints. We wish we did, but printing this much of detailed artwork on aluminum enclosures is difficult. But I mean, UV printers and stuff like that. I mean, that definitely gets the job done, though.
Yeah, well, I think your pedals do look awesome. So you guys are doing a great job on that. I particularly like the art on the Trigonaut. I think I said that right.
Yeah.
I think that's just so rad looking. And that's like one of the first things I noticed. I was like, man, these things look cool. And so you're doing a good job with that, Taylor.
Hey, well, thank you, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
And we're making sure that they sound all right too.
So that's the other thing is, they gotta sound good.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, sort of.
Yeah,
they could sound bad if that's your intention, and then it's fine. You know what I mean?
So we just do a limited batch. We make them look really good, and then they're just empty on the inside.
Well, that's for hiding stuff in. It's just a different purpose.
I can't tell you how many ideas we have for April Fools kind of stuff, but
can I spoil one?
No, don't spoil it. It's almost here.
It's so good because I have the design ready and everything. I've done
we can spoil it off the air. I love the April Fools stuff. It's so much fun.
Earthquaker devices are kings when it comes to that.
I don't know, man. This one I got in the bag, it's really good. Let me tell you.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see it. So Taylor, you take that question and run with it. What's your story?
Do you want him to repeat the question?
No. Clint, you're always supportive of me, and I just like that, man. I like that about you.
You're making this weird. Please go,
dude. You're weird. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. I met Clint through the scene. What scene we have here? I started out playing music, literally from the get-go, just playing math rock stuff, which is it's like progressive rock's punk cousin. And then like without the flutes and stuff, and none of the theatrics.
None of it.
None of the theatrics. We just get out there.
Let me just throw this in there.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's none of the theatrics.
Let me just throw this in there real quick. Like, Blake, do you know how there's that friend that says, like, yeah, I play and stuff like that, but then really they're incredible. Like,
yeah.
Okay, that's what Taylor's doing right now.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah, I'm not boasting or anything about him or exaggerating, but it's like I just wish he would play more.
I do stuff. I don't know, man. I have a hard time telling my backstory. I was kind of kidding earlier when I said it was going to take 2 hours. I just played in a couple of bands. My main project is something called Mount Vesuvius Death March.
All right, I like it.
It's not death metal. It sounds like it's going to be death metal or like some black metal, but it's not. It's just like it's kind of happy, In
a sense, like it's I mean, you're not.
That's kind of like that seems to be like a "and you will know us by the trail of the dead" type of situation. Like it's not really what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and there's what's the other one? Anyways, but yeah, I mean, it's a project where I just get people I've met along the way to do stuff. Like Chris Sagakis is our drummer. And I have another drummer here, Elliot Russo, who played in another band with me called Pace House, which is more moody and broody. But it's good, but that's an accurate description, dude.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, Mount Vesuvius is just like very similar to the sound of animals fighting, where you just get a ton of people together and you go, all right, just play over this wacky stuff that I created and let's hope it sounds good.
Okay, all right.
So, yeah, I mean, there's so it's Chris Sagakis, who's he actually plays on the Sound of Animals Fighting, which is a weird coincidence, but
oh, interesting. Okay,
yeah, and Akinori Yamamoto from the band Light. There's Mike McDonough from Via Luna. It's like I just took everyone in the math rock scene and then threw them on a record and get them to, play in 2716.
Yeah, whatever that is. Jeez.
I got an instant headache. Man.
But you didn't just start out playing math rock, though, did you? You didn't just wake up as a young boy and be like, I'm going to do...
No, I legit did. I'm not even kidding. So there's a record that ruined my life. It's Today's Active Lifestyles by Paulvo.
Okay.
I listened to that,
yeah,
and it changed my life. Let me tell you.
I thought it was Captain Beefheart.
And Captain Beefheart. I love Captain Beefheart. I just try and recreate Trout Mask Replica and then, fail in doing so. That's what Mount Vesuvius is.
Okay. Your attempt at recreating that. All right.
It's so weird because it's like, that's kind of like your musical background, like your favorite groups. And like, it's always like my favorite groups being like explosions in the sky and stuff like that. Like the theatrical kind of visuals and like, climactic, breaks and all that kind of stuff. Ambience.
I'm more of a Zappa guy.
Okay. How are we friends?
Through a mutual love of pedals.
Yeah, okay.
God.
Pedals brings the world together. Of course.
Man. Well, I am helping you. Oh, I am doing a little bit of the bass in the Mount Vesuvius thing. And my God, it's tough. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, it's fun. But yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna have to check this out.
I'm
prepared.
Well, it's my very masochistic project where I get famous people to, attempt weird time signatures.
If Mount Vesuvius Death March takes off like crazy, it's okay. I mean, we can end Deep Space. It's okay.
It's not going to take off because I can never release this record that I've been working on for 4 years.
Well, that's everyone.
Why can't you release this record? I don't understand.
It's just too much, man. The personnel is like 25 people.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to juggle everyone's schedules and doing it poorly.
I told you I'd manage it.
No, you didn't. Are you telling me you'll manage it?
I can help, yeah.
Okay.
It's on record. There it is.
Yeah,
this is recorded, dude.
Okay.
It's recorded. There's a few thousand people just heard you say that right now.
I'm about to throw up.
So now you're on the hook.
There's no pressure.
Yeah, so if this record doesn't come out in 6 months, I'm gonna blame you, Clint.
That's totally fine. I'll get it out tomorrow.
So you said you kind of got like a who's who of the math rock scene to get on board with this record. How is that? Is this just by you being involved heavily in the scene, or how do you get kind of these higher level people in that? And you just do what I do. You just slide into their DMs and cross your fingers, or what do you do?
I mean, sometimes, but half the time it's just like the community is so small that everyone just sort of knows each other.
Okay. Makes sense.
Or knows someone that knows someone, and then they'll hit me up and go, hey, you should put this person on the record. And I go, sweet, and then delay the record by another year.
Now,
because you're waiting for them to get off a tour and come into your studio. Or
and that's not something I'm complaining about. I'm just saying it's a challenge to try and to juggle everyone. They're all very talented, creative people.
The math rock, community. That's kind of like a Deep Space has been getting kind of involved with that too. So it's kind of like a market for that, which is kind of odd too, because like with the Golem, that's kind of like people have said it's like a doom drive, and I'm just like, you play math rock, like what are you doing? But I think this is another thing that can kind of like support it. But there's this guy in the math rock community known as Ken Hickey.
No.
You don't want me to bring that up?
No, God, no.
Oh! Now I feel like you have to almost.
Yeah, we have to, dude. Just
that's it, dude. I'm done.
Really? Okay, so no, it's just it's kind of like a parody account, and no one knows who it is, and people follow this guy, and it's kind of like it gives like the persona of like a kind of like a.
I feel like we narrowed down your audience from like 1,000 people to 1 by talking about math rock.
I honestly I have no idea, because I've got dad rockers, I've got punk rockers, I've got country guy. It's everybody. It's everybody. So who knows?
All right, never mind. Yeah, I feel less bad.
Well, this Ken Hickey guy, he's like a persona of like an older dad playing math rock, and he's actually followed a pretty good bit in the math rock community because it's hilarious, but no one knows who he is. And
I love how you're making this a mystery, but very clearly you're alluding to me controlling the account. And yeah, I just made a parody account of all of the math rock stereotypes that I could make fun of.
Okay.
I did it through the guy.
I don't know. I gotta stop you for a second. That was just kind of hilarious to me, like, because I really didn't know, because I'm like not in the room with you, so I'm not like watching the body language. So
he's like staring at you.
I wonder who this mystery guy is. Like I'm scratching my chin. I'm like, I wonder if we can figure this out. And then all of a sudden, well, it's just Taylor. So
no one knows that. I don't know if Taylor wanted me to announce it, but
yeah, I am Ken Hickey. I make all the memes. Whether you find them funny or not, it's me. I'm sorry.
So how do you spell that?
Oh, he's looking it up, dude.
Yeah, how do you spell that?
Oh no!
Everyone wants to pull over in your car and look this up on Instagram. Everybody.
No, please don't.
It is KEN space HICKERY. Is that right?
I think yeah.
Oh, that's Hickory.
Wait, what'd you just say?
HICKEY.
EY.
Yeah. I don't know. I put ER.
Ken Hickey.
Yeah.
Why don't I see Ken Hickey?
Good. Oh, yes.
Ken Hickey?
Oh, no. Is this on Twitter?
Is it not on Instagram? It's on Twitter. I went to Instagram. That's my go-to.
Yeah, we can definitely
it may be on Instagram.
Give you a link after.
So everyone asked me where I got the picture from, and literally all I did was I just typed in Ken Hickey in Google and then chose the first image. And then later on, I felt bad about doing that because it was just some random guy. So I, after it got a little, some amount of traction, I had to use a stock photo to save that guy.
I see.
Yeah, because I don't want to impersonate anyone online, except for people that have already signed their rights away to stock photos. They're free game.
Yeah, that's 100% fine.
Yeah,
that's part of the deal with the stock photos. How would you feel if you were the guy that's like the thumbs up kind of cringy faced older guy that you're just in every meme ever?
Oh, you talked about the guy that's Harold?
I think his name is Harold. Yeah, the white hair, kind of short stubbly beard, and he just always looks like he's in pain.
Oh man. I would live up to it.
See, I feel so bad. Everyone on the internet they're psychopaths, but not me. I have empathy, and that's why I ended up changing this guy's picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can be nice sometimes.
So yeah, you do have a heart.
I have a heart. Yeah.
You're right. Everyone on the internet is a psychopath.
That's true, man. I'm telling you.
Especially the podcasters.
You can't
trust those guys.
You can't treat them like people.
No, they're not. They're animals. Filthy animals. Terrible animals. Well, I don't know how we got there, but so basically, you have a long musical backstory, but you can sum it up in 2 words, really, and that's you just say math rock.
Yeah,
that's my musical backstory. End of story.
Yeah, I played math rock. Wait, that was 4 words. Math rock.
Just math rock. Just what's your musical backstory? Math rock. That's my musical.
Yeah, and somehow I got sucked into it, and Deep Space is kind of somehow in it.
I keep losing bass players. People are like, I don't want to play in 2716. And I'm like, please, I can't find any other bassists that want to do it. But I've got my buddy Clint here who can help me write this music and put the record out, right?
My fingers are bleeding.
Oh yeah, what Clint didn't tell you is he plays post rock music. He does some ambient drum. Wait, did you already say this?
Yeah, I already said.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, he said that. Explosions in the sky. I instantly got it. No, yeah. I know where you're coming from.
Yeah, I always had to tell people like, oh yeah, Explosions in the Sky. I was like, no, okay. Have you seen Friday Night Lights? And I hate having to say that, but being the soundtrack for it. And then they're like, "Oh yeah, I love the music." And I was like, "Okay, just picture that."
When they lose the game, like when the music starts playing, they're like, "We've trained all year for this, and this movie is going to be the next Remember the Titans."
Yeah,
and then it's not.
Okay, yeah.
And then Gallagher comes on.
It's not. Yeah, I have heard Explosions in the Sky, that I've never seen Friday Night Lights, so there's that.
Okay, that. Oh man, you're an angel. Okay, that's perfect.
All right, so we've talked about the math rock, and we've talked about the post rock and the dad rock and all the other kinds of rock that there are. But what we haven't actually talked about is your pedals. What do you make? Tell me about your stuff. What's going on?
Well, so I guess the best way to kind of go about it is talk about the plan that we were kind of starting out, because we're only about a year, 3 months old or so. And we're honestly more than grateful from where we're at now. And like the first year.
Yeah, no kidding. I had no idea that, we'd get to this point.
And like the first year, we wanted to go ahead and right now we just have like our drives and distortion, overdrive. And I'm just going to say it's like a octaglitch stutter overdrive. We want to go ahead and have the loud pedals pretty much available from the get-go, which is the Red Ghost, which is just your one knob distortion with like some sag or like a like getting that dying battery effect kind of features. And then you have the Golem, which a lot of people have said it's like a Doom drive. A lot of people have said it's like a parametric EQ drive. I mean, just think of it as like a drive with a lot of bass presence, but with a lot of different features with it, going from silicone, germanium, just that, the whole 9 yards pretty much. But with the Trigonaut, we're kind of want to release that since it was still an overdrive, but with the octave glitch stutter kind of features, but kind of like an introduction into what we're going to be focusing on moving forward, which is going to be more experimental. And I mean, I guess you can say the weirder kind of pedals, which that's what I personally love and what, mainly use. And so, yeah, that was pretty much an introduction of it. And right now we're actually, it's mainly you'll definitely be seeing like delays and reverbs. And I mean, I can kind of say that. I mean, like the delay is pretty much done. But recently, right before we went to Winter NAMM, we released a photo. We posted like a photo of like this little mini synth that we just cooked up together because at previous Stompbox exhibits and Summer NAMM, and we would always bring this mini synth with us that was a little bit bigger than the mini synth that we brought with us to Winter NAMM. And a lot of folks would be asking about that mini synth, like, "Oh, what is this?" And it was actually the Rucci Handmade Electronics mini synth. And that thing it's just super fun. Pretty much, it's like a lot of cool little things you can do with it. But I mean, if you didn't have a guitar or anything, you just plug it in through that and just go from there. And so we thought a lot of people are asking about this. Let's just make our own real quick. Well, we got way too much feedback about like, are you going to make this? Please make it or put it out. And so within the next 2 weeks, it'll be 2 weeks or so, we're going to be releasing a little mini synth. I see it as a toy, because I have fun with it so much. But I mean, I'm sure we're both looking forward to seeing what people will be able to do with it in a creative sense. But I mean, I've already been getting pretty funky with it, but it's kind of a cool thing. But yeah, just mainly like more of the experimental weird stuff you'll be seeing moving forward.
Yeah,
and
go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, like with the distortion and drive and the octaglitch stutter, Trigonaut overdrive. I mean, there's like little as nicks with doing, not your usual distortion or drive too. So it's just like little things that we added to it because we didn't want it just to be like your I guess something just different. I guess. I mean, of course, we want to make something different, but something that actually stood out from other drives and distortions and stuff. But I mean, we can definitely moving forward with the more delays and reverbs, and modulation kind of stuff. We'll definitely be able to exaggerate what we mean by experimental and stuff like that moving forward. Hopefully that makes sense what I'm trying to say.
Man, guys, well, we'll tell the people what's happening, I suppose. The people deserve to know. We had a guy blowing leaves. We had internet gremlins. We had all kinds of stuff just happen in the last few minutes that just tried to sabotage this podcast. But I'm glad you guys are persevering and not allowing that to happen.
Yeah, no,
we have dial up.
Well, my neighbor is trying to like siphon my Wi-Fi, so I'm sorry if there's any attacks on this transmission.
Oh, is that what's going on? The neighbor's trying to crack in. The neighbor's trying to be a guest on the show. He's trying to hack.
Yeah, you said internet gremlins. That's he's trying to disrupt this.
You do have a weird neighbor.
Yeah.
Tell me about your neighbor. What's your neighbor like?
Okay. All right. Well, this is a good topic.
Oh man.
He's very. I hope he doesn't listen to this. All right, I'm going to say it anyways. He's very like he really wants to do stuff all the time.
Okay.
Whereas I want to be more of like an over the fence neighbor. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I got that vibe. I understand.
Like, hey, how's it going? I'm going to go inside and take a nap.
Keep those boundaries there.
Yeah, it's got to be boundaries, because if you don't have those up, then it's I don't know. He'll like bring his kids over into my house, like unannounced. I'm like, dude, please.
And his kids like standing in your yard.
Yeah, he's like taking a DVD that I have on my like TV, and he's like bending it in half. I'm like, hey man, your kid's trying to break my stuff. He's like, oh yeah, he just does that.
You're like, yeah, but don't let him do that. Like, don't let him do that.
Any the kind of neighbor that's like, you tell him like, yeah, I gotta go to Rainbow City and see a friend, and he's like, oh, I'll go with you.
Yeah, he's like that, and then he'll be like, hey man, though he is kind of cool because he runs a brewery, but he like always wants me to be involved when I'm currently busy. He's a great guy. But he's too much for when I get home from work.
Right. You're ready to chill out. You don't want to go into his living room and check out his latest purchase.
Yeah, and it's always cool stuff too. It'll be like, "Hey, here's my kegerator." Do you know what that is? A kegerator?
Oh yeah. I live in Portland. I know what a kegerator is.
That's true. Never mind. I'm sorry, but I don't. I'm uncultured, and I didn't know what a kegerator was. And he's showing me like all these things and like blowing my mind, but still at the same time, I'm like, dude, I just worked all day. I just want to go inside, watch whatever's trending on Netflix, and then take a nap. Maybe I'm the bad neighbor.
I was just thinking, I don't know how cultured you have to be to know what a kegerator is. I feel like that can be a lowbrow type situation.
Well, he's got like some antique one from like, I don't know, whenever they were invented.
Oh, okay. I don't know when a kegerator was invented.
He's a connoisseur, let me tell you. And it'll also be like he buys this beer. It's called Unobtainium, and it gets released every like cicada birthing cycle.
Oh man,
or something. I'm not too familiar. It's like every 16 years they release one bottle, one case, and he always buys it.
He's got it all. He's hoarding it all. I know what you're talking about. I do know what you're talking about.
And I want to say on the record, he's the sweetest guy, but I can't hang out all the time.
Gotcha.
Also, let's talk about something serious. How come the pedal community is so nice? Like, why is everyone like? What do they have to hide? And this is a conspiracy that I have.
Okay, you think it's a conspiracy?
Yeah, for sure. Clint, I've told you about this, right?
I don't know if I was listening.
Okay, you probably tuning me out like you usually do.
No,
but
I was listening. I'm just scared what you're about to say.
I'm about to say good things. How come everyone is so nice?
I don't know. I have a theory though. I have a theory, and I've said this before. I think it's because this industry attracts like-minded people who share some similar, not exactly the same, but similar values and tastes and things like that. And everyone's different to a degree, but like I think overall we're all musicians, so we're all kind of like creatively driven for the most part. And we all I think it just attracts a certain type of person, and fortunately most of those people are pretty nice. It's like the ones that are weird and mean, like they're the oddballs. Everyone's like, "What's that guy's problem?" You know,
I totally see that. I feel like everyone. You go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I think that's what it is. I think it's just the nature of the business attracts overall, nice people for whatever reason. I don't know why that is. It's so consistent. Like everyone notices. It's not a weird thing at all. So
I think it's something like everyone that's doing in the pedal community, they're doing something that they love doing and want to do, and it's not like about money or anything like that. It's just like something genuine, like something they just love it, and I think that's something that's really cool to see other people doing too. I don't know.
Well, it's unusual because like in the music scene, a lot of the time, people get divvied up into cliques,
like a competition almost.
Yeah, and it's like based on your genre. But in the pedal community, everyone's so helpful.
Like everyone wants to see others succeed. I mean, I want to see others succeed for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. There's a certain degree of rising tide raise all ships type of situation within the community.
Yes.
And I do believe that that's true, and I think that has a lot to do with it as well.
Yeah.
But the meanest person by far is Clint McDuffie. I swear to God, this guy just berates me. He's like, "Where's the artwork? I gotta have it now. We have to get these orders in." And then I cry and I tell him, please leave me alone. I can't handle this right now.
To bounce off of that, I'm the one apologizing to others for your behavior.
Well, what were you telling me off air? How much you couldn't stand? Who was it? It was the Maris guys, right? You guys just could not.
Well, before they listened to this, I was joking. For the love of God.
I don't know. It seemed like you were pretty serious. Like you're like, man, I really can't stand the Terry and Angelo. That's what you said.
True. I can't. I was like, listen, Terry from Maris, he's just too smart, you know?
And it makes me mad.
It just makes me feel inferior and like I don't know what I'm doing. And it's, you know, he's just so mean to us.
All jokes aside, I love every single one of those guys.
Oh, they're amazing. They really are amazing. Yeah. The whole crew over there is fantastic. Well, the whole crew, there's 3 of them. But like Terry and Gina and Angelo, they're the best. They're so good. And ironically, they were one of the more recent tandem podcasts. So you guys have that in common.
Hey, more things we have in common with those guys, the better.
Yeah,
no kidding. They have it going on. I mean, really.
I mean, they deserve it. I mean, their stuff. I mean, it's just. Yeah, I'm just blown away with some of the stuff, everything that they release. I mean, with the 4, the Enzo and Mercury 7, it's just incredible to me. Like,
the Enzo.
I've never played anything like that. Being at Eastside Music Supply in Nashville, making like a 3-hour trip just to play that thing, and it's just. I can't go down this conversation because I know I'll be talking about it a good bit.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's do it.
Yeah, they make good stuff, but they're just so mean to us. I don't know why.
They bought us lunch, dude.
Yeah, in like a mean way.
How do you buy lunch in a mean way? Like, you eat this hoagie. You eat it.
Here, yeah, take these tacos, you hungry.
They did give us tacos. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Like, eat these tacos, you loser, you fat loser.
Look, I can't keep this ruse up. This roux. Is it roux or ruse?
I think it's ruse.
Ruse? Did I say it wrong twice?
I don't know.
Anyways,
I barely speak English. I have no idea.
I mean, English is a Frankenstein language formed from like 3 different languages or something.
Oh my god.
Anyways, so they bought us tacos in a very angry way. And then we keep seeing them everywhere. I try and get away from them, but you know, they're at every NAMM pedal exhibition.
Yeah, really, they're just great guys. I'm just ended that.
Yeah, dude, keep up the act. We gotta trying to say how we hate them.
No, I don't hate them.
Okay,
I know
you don't hate them. Here's a question for you.
Ready?
What's the coolest thing that has happened since you started this pedal company?
Starting it.
I was gonna say awkward silence. Is this a bad? Like, I don't want to talk about this party with all the supermodels that we were at. I don't really want to expose that side of the industry.
No, I think personal opinion. Well, my opinion. I think I remember it was on the way back from I think from the Brooklyn Stomp Box exhibit, and got an email from whoever saying that we got best emerging manufacturer. Like there was some contest, but I didn't know if it was like the real deal or something like that. And we were just talking nonstop, like, you know, with people that went to the Brooklyn Stomp Box exhibit, and we would like mention like the little contest thing or whatever. And like you put in your vote with these like it's like little business cards or whatever. Okay. And that was kind of cool. And really, I guess I don't want to say there was like a specific moment through it all. I think it's just the fact that we're able to do what we love doing, like with pedals and being able to actually do the business. I think that's just one of the coolest parts. But I think Taylor may have a different answer. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, people buy our stuff. That's the craziest thing ever. Like, we make things, people buy it.
Wait, what?
Is that not crazy?
No, it is kind of crazy. I totally get it.
Things.
Oh wait, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
now.
Dude.
That people care.
People care.
Yeah,
and it's crazy.
I really relate to that in a big way. Like, in a little bit different in some ways, but it's like, whoa, people listen to this. Like I try to remember, like everyone, like podcasters have a tendency to get hung up on their numbers. Like I'm in a bunch of different like podcasting groups, and everyone's like, "Oh, how many downloads do you have? Like, what's that?" And I was like, I try to like be the guy that's like, "Listen, if you have one download, you should stop and think about how amazing that is." Like somebody somewhere is like, "Wow, what they're doing is really great." If you have one person like consistently downloading, I know that's not like very sustainable if you're like trying to make a business out of it or whatever, but you should really appreciate the fact that that is the case. And I really appreciate everybody tuning in right now, because there's a million different things they could be listening to or doing right now, and it's like it's insane to me that I look at the map and there's somebody in Australia that's downloaded it. I'm like, what? Well, it's actually like 4% or so.
Dude,
You know,
it really is. It really is an incredible thing seeing like just from like the love and support like given, say, like to this podcast, Tone Mob, or like to us, D Space, and it's just there really is so much to be grateful for about it. But like that,
I do. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I do think they want to hear us beef with Maris.
No,
so I think that we should
go back to it.
No, they don't want to hear that anymore. Trust me.
No, I don't want to hear it anymore.
Fine. All right, whatever.
I don't even hear it anymore. But no, I think just like it's just and kind of answer the question about that. I think it's just the fact that I guess what Taylor's answer, the fact that people care, and it's just we're just grateful to see where we're at. You know,
I mean, like the first love is creating something and then releasing it into the world, and then it's kind of like, you know, the cherry on top that people actually care about, you know, what we're all doing.
What was there like a moment for you where you realized like, oh, this is going to be a thing. This is going to be like a real thing that we can put effort into and see it grow, and, you know, or was there like a turning point?
Actually, yeah.
You go.
It's not like I'm going to try my best not to make this sound crazy sappy, but like before, you know, Taylor and I were talking about, you know, the pedals and stuff like that. You know, this is why I was kind of in the outdoor industry, and really, I'm not like that big into like the whole outdoor kind of industry kind of thing. I was just like, I was just did a lot of management and business work with it, but it was just me and my wife relocated from Birmingham to Gadsden, and I was kind of somewhere in a really low place that I felt like I needed to get out. And talking to Taylor all throughout it, and I just said, you know what, just screw it. I just dropped everything, quit the job I was at, and went 100% into deep space. And I mean, he's got to take the chances. I mean, of course, probably be prepared, but I mean, like, we definitely prepared for it. But I mean, it's just like, make it or break it, I guess. No, not make it or break it. Just go. You got. I don't want this to sound sappy, but like,
is that why you said make it or break it?
I don't know why I said that.
You got to man up.
I mean, just do what you want. Do what you love doing.
You're passionate about it.
Passionate about it. That's the word.
You're very passionate about it, and you love doing what you do. And you know, if people enjoy what you do, that's fine. But you know, I feel like you'd be doing this regardless.
Yeah.
If even just to like make pedals that you found interesting and use them every once in a while at shows.
Yeah, and I don't know. There's always like things like people are always holding themselves back to doing something that what they really want to do, and I think that's where it kind of happened with us, and we just kind of, you know, went 100% into it, and seeing how far it's gone, and we're just we're extremely grateful for that. Yeah.
Do you have any like advice or at least just personal anecdotes about like what made you look at the whole situation and go, all right, now's the time to really give this a try?
Do you want to answer that, or do you want me to?
You go ahead.
Really, I mean, you don't know until you try it. I mean, that's really with anything. I would think. But I mean, of course, doing your research, of course, with it. I mean, like to elaborate more on that question, like being like prepared for it, like for doing, let's say, like starting a pedal company in general, or just with anything.
Yeah, with anything. I mean, anything you kind of mentioned, just like doing what you're passionate about and just trying. Obviously, not everyone that listens to this wants to start a pedal company. I'm sure there are some that do, but I feel like it's kind of a universal application in a lot of ways, in my viewpoint. And I just wondered if you had any kind of unique perspective on that.
I think, I mean, assuming that, like, with your passion that you already have, you already have a pretty good bit of knowledge of whatever, to say, say guitar building or pedals or anything. I mean, of course, do your research. Of course, I do all the business stuff, and I went to business school and all that stuff. But it's just like definitely get a good grasp on that because that definitely helps. But I mean, just kind of like I said a moment ago, you don't know until you try it, But I'm so bad at answering questions.
Well, I don't know. I just feel like there had to have been a time, and maybe we can, if it's hard to think of, we can stop digging at this question. But there had to have been a moment where you were like, you know what, these numbers kind of make sense, and if we can keep going at this rate or more, then I can take the leap. I can quit, and I can pour myself into this entirely. Or was it just kind of like, forget it, I'm doing it. Like I'm just gonna do it with no real planning. It doesn't seem like that's the case, but I feel like there was a turning point. Was there not a turning point?
I think it's actually the latter for you, because you were working at like North Face or something.
Yeah,
and then you just got fed up with it because it's
just
a dead. I don't want to say dead end job. It sounds like I'm making fun of it, but
well, it was a lot of I mean, there was of course opportunities with it, but I really wanted to do what I really wanted to make this happen.
You were unhappy.
Oh yeah,
right.
I was very kind of depressive state.
Yeah, and
I think you remember.
And then you decided,
there was a lot of planning, definitely a lot of planning. I mean, it's just like forecasting for the future. But I mean, you don't really have the numbers right in front of you right off the bat. But then just going straight into it. I mean, of course, you're taking chances. But I mean, like with any business, you gotta take risks.
But I mean, that's all you can do, though. You can't predict the future. You can only minimize so much risk, and you won't know what will happen until you start on it.
Yeah, always have a backup. I think but I mean, I don't want to say backup. I mean, like just be secure. I mean, don't go crazy. Plan. I don't know what you're looking at me weird.
I'm not.
Okay.
So I mean, yeah, I kind of feel that way too. It's for me, it was a lot of like kind of doing both for a long time, working full-time plus, and then also, doing this on the side and working with a bunch of other companies on the side and trying to get it going. And what it did for me, it was like, basically I was working like 1 million hours a week. I honestly couldn't even tell you how much altogether, between the jobs and between doing this and everything. But it got to a point where by grinding that way for a while, I was able to kind of make it like to where it wasn't so scary to take the leap. It's like, okay, I've been doing this for a while, for a couple years. This much is coming in. I need this much to survive. Okay, it's time to go full bore into it and see what happens. I'm a pretty conservative, like safe playing guy when it comes to that stuff. And and so I'm in the same boat. So. Yeah. I'm always interested to hear other people's perspective on, basically on kind of on entrepreneurship, not to make it like one of those podcasts, but
oh no.
Well, I mean, I think the other thing is that, if you do it and fail, it's not a bad thing. It just shows you that you can learn from that and then correct that next time.
Yeah, I mean, we've already failed a few times in certain aspects with Deed Space, but
for sure. I mean, earlier I was
come back.
Yeah, earlier I was talking about like the printing. Like I messed up the printing. That was all on me. And then I went back in, figured out what I did wrong, and then we got it right the next time.
Yeah.
So a failure is just it's a part of the process. It's just a stepping stone.
I'm not saying you're always going to fail, but I mean, there's going to be a point, but don't ever give up on it. I mean, failure, it just means you're going to do it better next time. Even if you fail again, you're still going to do it better and better.
Yeah.
But, I mean, plan. I think that's a big point with that too, though.
That makes sense. Then you can kind of mitigate some of those unnecessary failures by planning. Like some things are unavoidable. You're going to mess up. It just is. But if you do take your time and look ahead, you can kind of avoid some of those pitfalls or unnecessary headaches, basically.
Yeah. I think time management is something that I would really, really point out too. I mean, time is, I wish we never have enough of, and I wish we did, but with any business, just manage your time smart. I mean, I really can't elaborate much more on it. I mean, I can, but I don't know what else to say about it.
What's some of the biggest lessons you've learned from some of those failures?
Well, not to screw up what would you say?
Just don't screw up the printing. Anyways, that long conversation was just to get to the point where I'm saying, always have your calipers.
Always have your calipers. Measure twice, cut once.
But yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think with I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things, but it's just like I can't really pinpoint on what like. I mean, I know that we failed on a lot of things within the last year, but I just can't really like point one out right now because I don't know why. I mean, maybe because there's so many, or I don't know. I mean, I think with release, like a given time, like with product releases and stuff like that, just enough time to stay relevant or something. I don't know, but I'm trying to keep myself from not making this into an entrepreneur kind of podcast. That's the only thing.
Well, I mean, no, go for it. I'm asking those kinds of questions. You just say, don't try to edit yourself. Just say what's on your mind.
Okay. Ramble mode. I think
engage ramble mode.
Yeah, I think with us, right off the bat, we just releasing like 2 pedals within 2 months. Of course, that's one thing that I think we definitely could have waited on, and having given enough time for like product releases, and then in between, like say like the Gold and the Trigonaut, we waited months and waited too long, and then have a schedule with everything. Like we already have schedules for our next 3 to 4 products, and especially with it, I guess I'll elaborate more on the time management. It's just like give enough time for you and your family and friends too. Because
that's my big thing is because Clint and I both are workaholics, and that bleeds over into your social life pretty heavily, and you can't let it.
Yeah,
you have to have a social life, or you'll go insane.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're like, you have to get this stuff done. I mean, just stop and give yourself some time because you need it. I mean, I think mental health. I think it's like a big thing for everyone that we should all focus on too. Just like what Taylor said, you need a social life to stay healthy overall.
Yeah, I find that in this business that it can be especially easy to overwork because because a lot of the time what we're doing, most of us got into this because we really love some aspect of it, And so that doesn't necessarily feel like work all the time, even though it is. And it can be really easy to do too much of it. And it's like, well, I'm just working. It's fine. It's good to work, right? And then it's like, well, yeah, but you have other things you have to do too. And so it's because this industry is so fun, it all, like, oftentimes it's like, and my family will kind of poke fun at me, like, oh yeah, you're working, right? Ha ha ha. So funny. Like,
my family does the same.
This is fun. Like, this is fun, but it is sort of work, in a lot of ways. We're working right now, even though it doesn't really feel that way.
That's more like just a joke around that. Why don't you come over here and build this pedal? Like, it's being dumb.
Don't your parents, aren't they like, hey, you make toys for musicians?
I don't think they're like that.
You make little wind up music boxes for all your friends.
I think maybe once. I think that's probably maybe once they probably said that. I don't think they said that.
It happened. Okay,
yeah.
You can't lie to me.
I know you too well. You can't lie to me.
I know all the telltale signs. Just do what you love, and don't let it kill you.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. There's my quote for the podcast. Let's put that on a shirt.
Put that on a
shirt. Do what you love. Don't let it kill you.
That's not a bad... Hey, you were looking for a slogan earlier in the podcast. That's not bad. That's pretty good. I like that.
Did you come up with... you came up with a couple of slogans because you got jealous of...
I didn't get jealous. I just admired it so much.
You said make noise, not war. And then feedback is an art, dude. And you were like, God, I wish we had a slogan.
We said, go deeper, go home. No, go deeper, get out.
Go deeper, get out. I like the other one better, I think. Let's switch slogans.
Yeah.
Let's switch slogans. Do what you love and don't let it kill you. I just think that's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just it is a tough thing to get started, but once you make that leap, the community is so helpful that you never feel alone in it.
Yeah, don't go into it thinking like money. Do go about it. I mean, knowing that you're going to be doing something that you really do enjoy. I mean, unless you just want money, I don't know. Don't think of it like that. And that's just with anything, I think.
Well, if you just want money, you should, as many guys I've talked to said, you should go into a different business if that's your only goal. Because you're going to be sorely disappointed if all you're looking for is a windfall of cash. It's just not going to happen, most likely.
Yeah.
It's very rare anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah, you guys have been with me for a while now, and we didn't really get into the most important part of the podcast yet. And I feel like we should probably do that here.
I'm getting scared right now.
Yeah, it's a big... I know. It's a big deal.
I'm about to throw up. I'm so scared.
So, and I'm going to pose this question to both of you, and, I'll save my comments until you've both responded. But what kind of pizza do you like?
Oh, man.
Oh, dude, I just... my own pizza. I just made... So I took it was like a 24-inch sub, and then I cut it in half, and then I made some pizza sauce, and then I spread that on there, put some mozzarella on there, and then I cut up some Italian sausage, and then I cut up some Roma tomatoes, put that in the oven for like 15 minutes. All right, your turn, Clint.
Dude, you got nothing on mine.
What?
Okay, so I used to make pizza. I used to work years and years ago. I used to work for this local pizza restaurant. So I would get pretty funky with a lot of pizza, but I don't know what it is. But like over the years, I just get tired of, marinara sauce and everything. So my base is always going to be either barbecue or, well, I always loved just the barbecue base, but
you like anchovies, right?
No.
And you love pineapples?
I don't like
pineapple.
And
you like pineappled anchovies?
No. That's not a pizza. That's like a sweet dessert.
Oh, is it?
That's something that you just categorized in like in the pizza industry.
I know you put spinach on your pizza.
I love spinach on the pizza.
You're gross.
Let me
Disgusting.
let me get this going. So barbecue base with, of course, I mean you gotta have chicken on it. But I mean, I just say a grilled chicken, spinach, and I've always liked having them super spicy, but not pickled jalapenos, but fresh. Because I mean, it gives a little bit more of a bite to it. I mean, you can add other meats if you want to, but sure. I mean, this is all like not thin crust, but just hand toss. So yeah, that's pretty much my favorite kind of pizza. But I'll eat pretty much any kind of pizza, not loads of red sauce, tomato sauce, marinara sauce, whatever you want to call it.
That works. I'm struggling with Taylor's a little bit. While that does sound delicious, I have a hard time classifying that as pizza, like actual pizza. It's like a pizza variant.
Oh, that's a good point. It's like French bread pizza. But all right, pizza. True pizza. I just like double cheese and pepperoni.
Okay.
Thin crust, thick crust. What's happening?
Oh, thick. Are you kidding me?
Thick.
What?
Thick. Yeah.
Wow.
I like some girth to my pizza or else I can't eat it.
Like Chicago?
Yeah, dude. It's got to be the size of my face.
Like deep dish.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
It's delicious. It's maybe a bit too greasy at times, but
it's a casserole, not.
Well, no, actually, I do like the grease. I like when the pizza's like a wet paper towel,
stop.
And you can dip it around on your. It's always paper plates, never real plates. Yeah, that's the best.
I feel like you're just trying to be abrasive right now. I feel like you're just kind of come at me with some negative energy or something.
No, I'm always positive all the time. Clint, attest to this.
No.
Oh, are you kidding me?
No.
Wow.
I did.
Wow.
So at Winter Net, we ordered a pizza every night, and we always had to split it down the middle, different kinds of pizza.
Oh, yeah, we ate pizza 5 nights in a row.
Yeah.
Wait,
go ahead.
But I do want to say, first off, your pizza was the best. Everything else was subpar.
Yeah.
I think I think Mari's is the place to go in that neck of the woods. In Anaheim, it has a few spots to eat. They're all really expensive because you're basically paying the Disney tax.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and I feel like Mari's is about as I can't say it's my favorite pizza, but it's my favorite pizza that I've had in Anaheim. So that's what I decided to order. Plus, it's really close to the convention center. So
yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it, and I was starving.
It was great, and until this podcast, I had no idea where the pizza came from. So thank you.
You're welcome. I just still find it. I definitely find it a bit strange. That it's like, hey, I don't know where this pizza came from, but I'm gonna eat it. That's a power move.
I just followed the crowd, and then everyone's like, hey, there's some stuff out here, and I went, what stuff? And then I went out there, this pizza, and then I just blended in, So
and going up to John saying, you like to dunk on people.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
He's a really good guy. But yeah.
Well, we've got it. We've got the hour mark down, boys. Is there anything else you guys want to say before we hop off?
I thought you were about to say something.
I had a joke I was going to tell, and it was really funny.
There's always we have a website, deepspacedevices.com, and listen to everything in the Tone Mob because it's great.
Oh, thank you.
Subscribe to the Tone Mob Patreon.
We just did.
No, don't tell them. It's supposed to be a surprise.
Okay.
Oh, man. Thank you so much.
Oh, you ruined it, Clint. God.
I can't keep surprises. I didn't know it was a surprise.
You really did. Yeah. I just checked my email. You really did. Thank you so much.
I wouldn't kid about that. This is a great podcast. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So anyway, subscribe to the Tone Mob Patreon. Give this guy your money. All right. You can't do it without money. let him be himself, because, in this economy, it's, you can't make money. Where am I going with this,
What are
Clint?
you talking about?
I don't know. You're not even helping me, dude. I've been helping you this entire time, and you're not even going to help me.
I'm sorry, Blake.
Don't apologize. Wow. All right, dude. Wow.
That seems like as good a place to wrap up as any, if you guys are down with that.
Yeah, we're good with that.
But seriously, thank you for having us on, and this has been fun.
Yeah, thank you so much, man.
Yep. All right, guys, for Taylor and Clint, this is Blake. Good luck and good tones. All right, everybody. I hope you had as much fun as I did with Clint and Taylor. You can check all their stuff out at deepspacedevices.com. And I should say that little mini synth thing, they actually did come out with that in between the recording and when this came out. And it is called, let me see if I can pronounce this. This is a hard one. I couldn't even pronounce a simple tongue twister earlier. Let me see if I can do this. Is the Antithecera? I don't know if I said that right. I probably just butchered whatever it's actually supposed to say. But if you go to their Instagram, you can totally check it out. It looks like a ton of fun. So yeah, make sure you go to their website and check out all of their goods. Also, thanks for tuning in. You've made it to the end. You're the real trooper. You're the I don't know. Should give you like a gold star or something. If you need more of this action, you can always find it over at Patreon. Thank you all for supporting this. Thank you for supporting the show, telling a friend. This thing is really going crazy, and it's all because of you. Seriously. It was all because of you, because if it was just me, there would be no point to any of it. So thank you all so much. I'll talk to you next week, and yeah, got a good one for you. It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited. Okay, bye. One last thing before we totally sign off here. I just want to remind you that if you do any shopping at Stringjoy, that's Stringjoy guitar strings made in Nashville, that will help me out as well. As I've said for years, I'm heavily involved in that company, and I really do think they're making the best products on the market. So if you would like to try custom strings, go to tonemob.com/stringjoy and check them out today. I seriously love what the team down there is doing. I help them out with all kinds of things, and by you supporting them, you are also supporting me as well. And hey, you need some strings, so why not get some custom strings just for your guitar and playing style? Again, the link for that is tonemob.com/stringjoy, and that will take you right to their website, and you can do all your shopping through there, and that will help everyone involved out. So thank you very much. Talk to you next time. We are brought to you by the wonderful folks at Gun Street Wiring Shop. Yes, Gun Street Wiring Shop. I've talked about them before. I used to say based out of Bend, Oregon, but guess what? Sean moved to my neck of the woods. Sean's in Portland. Sean is awesome and has helped me with a bunch of stuff lately. And if you have wiring needs for your guitar, he can help you too. If you want to get weird with it, he can get weird. If you just need to spruce things up a little bit, there's your guy. He takes all the guesswork out of doing your guitar wiring, and he makes it simple, and his customer service is top-notch, and I can't say enough good things about Gun Street as a company. I really respect Sean and what he's all about, and the product is top-notch. I've got 3 different guitars that now have Gun Street harnesses in them, and I could not be happier. So go to gunstreetwiringshop.com and check them out.